Yo, what's up everyone? Another video today. That's right, today a video of kind of awesomeness. I wouldn't say this is high on my excitement list of things to get for wrestling magazines, but it was a great deal, so I took it. This is, I don't know, I think like, I don't know how many magazines it is, but it came out, it was $25 for this stack of Wrestling Fury magazines. So let's take a look at them. My buddy Stone Cold Steve Austin's here, as you can see. He's now the official mascot, I guess, of the channel, because I might as well use him since everyone knows my feelings on that situation a few months ago. What? That's right, Steve. You should have been in package. Still to this day, how do you send a wrestling figure in the package and a stupid envelope? You don't. Anyways, besides that, Steve, you can go over here. Let's take a look and see what is in here. Now, I know they're Wrestling Fury magazines. Now, what's Wrestling Fury? Well, Wrestling Fury is not a Stanley Weston magazine, that's for sure. They would be the other kind of wrestling magazines that were out back in the day. Oh, wow. Let's just get rid of the box. Wow, he wrapped them up pretty good here. All right. Yeah. Like I said, $25 for all these. We got a nice shot there of Lex. Let's see if I can get that down a bit here. I think that should work. Come on in the picture, Steve. You can go over here. I had this magazine as a teenager, so I remember owning that one. But these ones here I did not own. I didn't get any of these ones. Another Lex on the cover. There's Marty. There's Barry and Bobby. I don't know if I had that one. That one looks familiar to me. I don't know. Same with that one. That one looks familiar to me too. Like I may have owned that as well. I'll have to look through them. That's how I'll be able to tell. So what happened is a lot of my magazines back in the day, as a kid or, you know, in your early teens, you're probably looking at wrestling magazines a lot because this was the 80s and the 90s. There's no internet in the early 90s. You know, there's nothing to entertain us. So our entertainment when we wanted to do anything wrestling related was either you threw in a VHS tape that you had or that you taped off, you know, you may have taped Saturday Night's Main Event, or you may have taped a pay-per-view, or you even owned a VHS tape that you bought. Probably way too much money back then because they were pretty expensive, the Coliseum videos and whatnot. But you could watch wrestling. But if you were looking for a certain era of wrestling that you didn't have on videotape, you went to the magazines. You read the magazines to kind of get that feeling, that vibe of that era. And you probably looked at your magazines a lot, and your covers most likely came off. A good majority of my wrestling magazines back in the day lost their covers because it's just staples and the covers get beat up because they're getting looked at and they're getting other magazines on top, and you're a kid. You're not caring about the condition. You're just enjoying them. So a lot of my covers got ripped off. So I vaguely remember some covers because they were on my magazine for maybe a minute, right? As it, you know, and I'm not being serious there, but as in that term, like they're not on it for long, maybe months at a time, and then they get ripped off, or they just get ripped, like pieces of it get ripped or something. But it's the inside that you remember the most. You remember the articles, you might remember some photos from the inside. But this was $25 for all these magazines. Hell of a deal if you ask me. Very, very cool. I'm happy to have them. Like, I was talking to Bill from Pro Wrestling Mags like maybe a month or so ago about this. I said I was thinking about collecting Wrestling Fury or Main Event Wrestling or Wrestling Eye, if to kind of do a kind of like an off branch, right? Because there's a lot of wrestling magazines out there, people. There really are. If you go on and look, there's various kinds, and it can be overwhelming for just financially, just mentally, because you're just like, what do you get? But when you have this many magazines at $25, you do it. You just do. It's a great deal. I don't think I'm going to try to collect all Wrestling Fury. That's crazy because I've already invested enough money and time into the After Mags and into the WWF magazines. I still need to continue on my WCW ones. I'm still missing like 5, I think, from 1993 and a few from 94 that I got to finish. They're just impossible to find on Canada eBay. The American ones, they're probably there, I'm guessing. The problem is, like I said, it's just the shipping costs from the USA to Canada and whatnot, or if you get charged with brokerage because of depending how they ship it. It's so stupid. I mean, easily I could probably go across the border and get them cheaper by going to their house to pick them up than having them to mail it to me, as weird as that is. It's just so stupid. But it is what it is when it comes to mail, when it comes to Trudeau with the carbon tax too. Even Canada is not cheap for shipping, as us Canadians know. So that's cool. Very cool. And I say that with total sarcasm. But this is kind of neat. I'm going to be looking at these probably tomorrow. I have tomorrow off. Finally, I got a day off after this craziness of lately at my work. So in between inventory and people taking vacation, this guy here had a lot of hours. Today's his last day for one day. I get tomorrow off. So tomorrow is my big day. I'll actually go through these and take a look, see if I can see anything cool in them. I know a lot of these magazines kind of sometimes do like a lot more stories on like the indies and such too, more so than the WWF or WCW, even though that's their main focus on the cover. If you look, I just saw this one here. I think it was on this side. Yeah. Those are Memphis boys. That's Buddy Landel, Billy Joe Travis, and superstar Bill Dundee. So that's 1992 year in reviews. That's USWA right there. That's from Memphis. Those guys. So that's kind of neat that they go on. They do that. It's very rare that you saw like the After Mags put someone from Memphis on the cover as years went on. Unless it was Lawler, probably. Lawler would get the nod for that. There were stories inside. I remember there was I remember this great story of in a PWI magazine, and I don't know where it's at. Maybe is it right here? Is this might be? Is this it? If it is, this will be great. But I don't know if this is it. Probably not. No, I have to find it. It's it has great photos, like still shots of PG-13, and they're like fighting each other. And if I ever find it, I'll do a video on it. It's hilarious. Like you can just tell like the photos were just set up for like the action shots were set up for the photo, right? And it's just, I actually am friends with Wolfie D on Facebook. I became friends with him years ago. I made a Facebook group. I know this is kind of trailing off now, but I made a Facebook group like back in 2008 called like Sir Wolfie D is the man or something like that. And he had his girlfriend at the time found it and messaged that group and said that Wolfie knows of this and thinks this is awesome and whatnot. And then I said, cool. I'm like, well, I think I gave her my real name or something. And then Wolfie and I became friends through Facebook. And to this day, he's still on my list. And sometimes like I'll leave comments and vice versa. But he seems like a cool dude. But yeah, I sent him the photos of those once, and he got a kick out of them, of the still shots of JC Ice and Wolfie D fighting in the background, like in a stairway or something of a Memphis arena. But it's kind of neat that Memphis makes the cover here in 1992 for the Wrestling Fury. Like I said, these magazines are... let's see. Well, look, they got posters. Like, there's Sting, Sweet Shot of the Rock and Roll Express, who would probably be in Smoky Mountain Wrestling here. Yeah, Mayhem in Memphis. So, these are neat. Like I said, I think I owned this one. Maybe I didn't. The Rockers split at the seams. I want to say I own this. I don't know now. Wait, yes, I did. I remember that poster of Bobby Eaton. Beautiful Bobby Eaton there. Not Eaton, apparently. But yes, I did own this. So I do remember that poster of Bobby. Because I didn't realize it said Eaton at the time when I was younger. Oh, boy. Beautiful Bobby Eaton. Rest in peace, Bobby Eaton. All right. Well, that is my video for today. Wrestling Fury now added to the collection. I only had one so far that I bought like 2 years ago that I remembered owning when I was a kid. It had Demolition on the cover, I believe, is the one I have. Now I got a whole bunch more to add to it. So cool. All right. Oh, by the way, for the someone left a comment. I didn't get back to them yet on the comment. Someone left a comment about I've seemed a little bit confused and after the whole situation on the last video when we got an envelope with a lawyer with my girlfriend. That situation is fine. That is involving her parents. They're trying to sell their house, and it had something to do with Melissa had to be like, well, no, it's okay or whatever, because she's in the will or something, and she's like, it's nothing big because her sister told her. So I was like, oh, good. Because it kind of shocked me. I was like, I thought that was wrestling magazines, and I'm starting to open it up and it's papers, and she got a kick out of that. But yeah, so thankfully that's all right. So just in case anyone was wondering about that last video, everything is cool. All right, guys, this is it for today. There is a big package coming in next week. I should probably rephrase that. There is a big parcel coming in next week. It's going to be sweet. It's going to be huge. It's got, I'll tell you right now, it's got 48 wrestling magazines in it. 48. 48. Like, that's crazy. It's in Winnipeg right now. It went from British Columbia to Winnipeg. I'm hoping to get it Monday, maybe Tuesday at the latest. I'm thinking... The last update was Wednesday night. It said it was in Winnipeg being processed. It didn't say it left Winnipeg yet, but sometimes they don't say that for some reason. The next update says it's where it's at. So I'm hoping it's in Ontario soon, or is already in Ontario right now, and I'll get it Monday or Tuesday. That will be a big video for everyone. It's kind of exciting. I'll explain everything about that ordeal on the next video I do with that parcel. It was a bit of a tug and pull situation. Again, I probably could have reworded that better. My goodness. Anyways, but yeah, it was like pulling teeth. There you go with this situation. All right, guys. So check it out. Wrestling Fury. Look at Marty there. Marty with, is that Doug Summers? Yeah, it is. That's AWA Marty. Used an AWA photo in 1989. Hogan Warrior. Like I said, I think I had this one. I want to check. Bobby and Barry on the cover. Very cool. Lex Luger, the Ultimate Warrior. And Lex again with the U.S. title. Can't wait to get into those and check out the goodness inside them all. All right, guys, until I do my next one, for Stone Cold Steve Austin and myself, I'll talk to you guys later.